inshallah, I'd like to take one single verse that every single one of us here knows and has memorized and reads frequently, inshallah, and try to understand some aspects of this verse. And that verse is where Allah says, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. That, oh Allah, it is you who we worship alone, and it is you alone who we seek aid and assistance and help from. Now, there's a few points that I'd like to remind myself about this one single verse. And the first thing that I mentioned is that Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Qayyim, may Allah be pleased with him, he mentioned that I used to hear Ibn Taymiyyah, may Allah be pleased with him, constantly saying that this verse here is the cure to the many different diseases that we have of the heart. And in particular, he mentioned that this verse is the cure to arrogance and to pride and to insincerity. How is this so? That is because when we say إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ, oh Allah, you alone we worship, then this removes insincerity and this cures the disease of insincerity. Because you are reminding yourself that, oh Allah, I am worshipping you and you alone. Every act of worship, anything that we say, anything that we do this with the intention that this is ibadah and all ibadah is for Allah and Allah alone. So this is how it cures insincerity. The next part of the verse is وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ, and you alone we seek aid, help and assistance from. And this removes arrogance and pride in all of its different forms. And that is because you find that when we are reminding ourselves so frequently that, oh Allah, it is you whose help I need to be successful in anything that I do, then of course this is going to remove any pride and any arrogance that one has in his heart. And this is similar to what Allah says, Ya ayyuhan nas antumul fuqara'u ila Allah wallahu al-ghaniyyul hamid. That, all mankind, surely it is you who is in need of Allah, and Allah, He is al-ghani, free of all need, al-hamid, worthy of all praise. The second thing that I mentioned about this verse is that when it comes to al-isti'ana and ibadah, seeking Allah's aid and His assistance and complete servitude, worshipping Him, then surely this is from the most important aspects of our religion. And this is why you find in Surah Al-Fatiha, the opening of the Quran, all the different things that Allah could have mentioned, He gives us this message for us to take away. For every single thing that we do in our lives, we have to remind ourselves of the importance of worshipping Him and asking for His aid and His assistance in anything that we do. For surely if Allah does not aid or assist anything, then that will be void of any blessing and any success. The next benefit that I remind myself with is that why do we use we? In this verse, Allah says, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. You alone we worship and you alone we ask for help. So why is the word we used? Now, the scholars gave a number of explanations. The first one was that this is of course referring to the plural, that for you and the rest of the ummah. For you and the rest of the ummah, showing the importance of keeping the rest of the ummah in our du'as. The last benefit that I remind myself with is that way Allah, He refers to the Prophet ﷺ. When revelation started, Allah mentions in the beginning of Surah Al-Kahf, all praise is due to Allah who has revealed the Quran to His slave, showing us the importance of complete servitude to Allah and that nothing takes precedence when it comes to singling out Allah with all acts of worship. And the very last point is that at the time the Prophet ﷺ became stressed and he became hurt at what the people were saying about him, what was the solution that Allah gave to him? Something for us all to take away into our lives, is that Allah advised him with worshipping Him, where He says, وَلَقَدْ نَعْلَمُ أَنَّهُ يَضِيقُ صَدْرُكَ بِمَا يَقُولُونَ. At the end of Surah Hijr, Allah says, and surely we know, O Muhammad ﷺ, that which they say about you and the lies that they spread about you, it causes you sadness. فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ وَكُمْ مِنَ السَّاجِدِينَ. But give praise and thanks and be from the people who make sajda often. وَأْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. And worship your Lord up until the certainty of death comes to you. So in these verses we understand that Allah is telling the Prophet ﷺ, we know that you are hurt and you are upset about that which is happening. But what was the solution to remove this depression and anxiety? It was to worship Allah. And surely Allah knows best.